Hi everybody, welcome to this week's video. Super excited that you're joining me here, whether you're watching me live inside of our Facebook group or if you are checking out this video on YouTube or elsewhere on Facebook, welcome. Today we are talking about what to actually eat. This is a question that I actually got from a coaching client earlier, maybe just a couple weeks ago. And I think this is a really common thing. So we're going to really dive into not so much the don'ts of improving your nutrition, but the do's. Like, I really think that this is going to be helpful for you. So I hope that I hope this resonates. If you've been into this a little bit, it's especially looking into whole food plant-based nutrition, it's really easy to come across a lot of people talking about what to eliminate. But I don't hear a lot of people really focusing on what are the targets that we want to be hitting as far as what we're adding. And you can have a really unhealthy diet that eliminates all the right things, but it's unhealthy because we're not including all of the good things or enough of them. So I think that this will be a fun kind of perspective to take, so thanks for joining me today. If you're new to these videos, if this is your first time here, welcome. My name's Danielle. I'm a national board certified health and wellness coach, and I'm a plant-based nutrition educator. So I do these weekly videos. I love doing these every week inside of my free Facebook group, Journey to Healthy Living with Danielle Dinkelman. If you're not in there yet, you're missing out. Please come and join us. We'd love to have you. So with these videos, I always go over something that has to do with upgrading your nutrition or prioritizing self-care or taking charge of your habits. Those are really the three things that I love supporting people with and that I think we just need more of in this health and wellness space. So I love doing these videos. So let's get into our topic today. Like I said, it's a lot easier to think about what to eliminate than it is to think of what we're going to replace it with when we start thinking about taking the unhealthy things out of our diet. So I just want to talk to the habit change piece of this for a second, because when you learn about how habits are formed and how you can change habits, it becomes clear really fast that effective habit change only happens when you replace an old habit with something better. So, and maybe you've experienced this. I know I have. Have you ever, had a bad habit like biting your nails or any other little nervous tics or things like that, and just try to tell yourself of like, okay, I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop doing that thing. Or even with food, have you ever told yourself like, okay, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop eating this or that. That's really hard to do. Like, just human nature. It's not you. It's not that you're weak. All humans experience this. We need to replace old habits with a new habit. It's just science. It's just brain science, okay? So today we're really going to dive into what are you replacing things with as you're looking into minimizing processed food, minimizing oils, sugars, maybe letting go of the meat, the dairy, and the eggs in your diet, okay? So I'm really excited to share this with you. Now, what we're going to be focusing on is something called the Daily Dozen, and that was developed by Dr. Michael Greger, who wrote this fantastic book. It's called How Not to Die. If you haven't heard of this or taken a look at this or his website, nutritionfacts.org, I really encourage you to do so. I'm going to share some more resources with you today that you can pretty much learn most of what's in this book. With a few tips that I'm going to give you today. So what is this book about? It is about the top 10 killers in America, number 1 being heart disease, number 2 being cancer, and so on down the list. And he cites study after study on nutrition and food that has been shown to really increase our health and our resilience and even being able to prevent and reverse these diseases. It's really compelling, really exciting. What's really awesome about this is that at the end of the book, he says, okay, now that you understand all this science, here's what I would recommend. And this is actually the way that he eats, knowing what he knows. And he developed this thing called the Daily Dozen. So I have a printout for you. I will have a link for this PDF in the video description, but this is something that I use regularly. I've been using a lot more lately, which is why I wanted to do this video today. So it's a list of 12 things, and I know that might feel a little overwhelming, but just stick with me for a minute. You don't have to do this every single day. Like, you don't have to eat all of these things every single day right now, right? This is the ideal. This is what to shoot for. And it's a really powerful tool because in the coaching world and in behavior change science, everything that I've learned, the more measurable we can get, the better, for lots of reasons. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. So what I would love to do today is 4 things. Number 1, I would love to just kind of go down this list and summarize it for you. If this is new to you, kind of let you know this is what we should actually eat. This is what you could be putting on your plates. And then I'm going to give you kind of my coaching tips of how you could, in a really healthy, mentally healthy way, start incorporating this tool into your day-to-day life and to start moving that needle of upgrading your nutrition. I'm going to give you a few things to keep in mind, some mindsets, and then I have 2 questions that I want you to ask yourself as you embark on using this, okay? So stick with me. Those are the 4 things that we're going to do today. So I'm going to see if I can do it in under 15 minutes because I would love to not take up too much of your time today. So let's go down this list. The Daily Dozen. So there's 12 things here, and he gives serving sizes or serving numbers of each of these things. So I'll tell you the servings and I'll tell you what is on this list. Now, if you would like to learn more of what exactly are all the examples that could check each of these boxes, he has an app. So you could go to your app store, whether you're Android or Apple, and search Dr. Greger, Greger, Daily Dozen. And he has a really robust app, you guys. It's really awesome. It's actually a checklist. So if you're more digital than paper, I really like paper. I like physically checking stuff off. You can use the app to do the things that I'm going to teach you today, or you can print this off. Now, inside the app, there is, under each category, each of these 12 things, there's a little eye with a circle around it. It's really powerful to click that little icon because it shoots you over to a description of what types of things fall under each of these categories, and it sends you to videos that really detail the studies that he talks about in his book. So it's really powerful. I would really encourage you to spend a little bit of time each day inside of there because it can be really motivating and really exciting to learn about the benefits of these different foods. So let's just go down the list. Number 1 on the list is 3 servings of beans or legumes, okay? So black beans, lentils, chickpeas, that sort of thing. 3 servings a day. The next one is berries. If you've seen my immune boosting protocol, the smoothie that I make, it's lots of berries in it, and this is why. So 1 serving of berries a day. 3 servings of other fruits. 1 serving of cruciferous vegetables. We're talking broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, collard greens, anything in that family. Cabbage is another one. So 1 serving a day. Cruciferous vegetables are a really powerful cancer fighter and cancer preventer. So that's a good one to have in mind. 2 servings of leafy greens. 2 servings of other vegetables. 1 serving of flax seeds. This is kind of an odd one that a lot of people, it's not on their radar. I actually have another YouTube video. I'll put a link in that as well where I really go into the details of that, of why flax seeds are helpful. 1 serving of nuts. 1 serving of spices, specifically turmeric is really powerful. 3 servings of whole grains. I really like to shoot for intact whole grains. But again, this is something that I really want you to kind of start where you're at and take the next step. So if you are still having a lot of white bread, a lot of white rice, white pasta in your house, I would really encourage you to find a whole wheat bread that you like. If you're local in the Intermountain West, I think Idaho and Utah have Harper's homemade bread. That's one of my favorites. Really simple, but still really delicious. Anyway, so if you're still having white refined grain products, I really encourage you to move over to whole grain. But then even that is like really finely ground flours and stuff, right? So when I see 3 servings of whole grains, I'm really shooting for maybe some intact grains, like I'm having some oatmeal or I'm having some brown rice with my stir fry. I'm having a big thing of quinoa, that sort of thing. So shooting for intact grains would kind of be the next level after you get the whole grain bread products. Beverages, 60 ounces of water a day is fantastic. You can throw some herbal teas in there as well. And then I love that he includes in this list of 12 things, he includes exercise, that just eating well is not enough. So I really love Dr. Greger for that. He and I are on the same page. So really for exercise, we want 90 minutes a day of moderate exercise. So that could be walking, that sort of thing. And then if you want to do vigorous exercise, it's about 45 minutes. So about half if you're jumping rope or if you're going for a run and whatnot. Exercise will be another video for another day. So I hope that helps a little bit. Does that kind of give you a little bit of a picture of what could be going on your plate? It's a good start. So what do I suggest as a health coach? How can you use this tool really effectively without it becoming overwhelming? So that's the second thing I want to share with you today. So number one, the goal here is to not get overwhelmed, okay? Overwhelm is our enemy when we are trying to improve our lifestyle, okay? So I want you to let go of that all or nothing mentality. That is the diet mentality. We are taking on a healthy lifestyle mentality, which is exactly what I said a minute ago. Start where you are, take the next step, okay? Like I want a t-shirt that says that. So that's what we're gonna do with this, okay? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to print this out. You can laminate this. I just got like some do-it-yourself lamination stuff. And at the office section in your grocery store or whatever, I got some magnets that had some adhesive on it. So this is a really quick tool, a little bit of a project, but I love having this on my fridge. And then I got a wet erase marker. I got this on Amazon. This is really easy. It's the Vis a Vis Expo wet erase marker. And so I do this, okay? And so this is what I want you to do. You're gonna do this. You're gonna get your checklist ready on your fridge, or if you're more digital, if you like doing it on your phone, download the app and use that. So here's what I want you to do. 2 to 3 days minimum, don't change a thing. Just start keeping track. Just start noticing what you're eating and just start tracking it. That's just it. I don't want you to change anything. I don't want you to say, oh, I gotta try to check all those boxes. Don't do that. So we just want to get a baseline of where you're at, what you're already doing. And this will be actually really fun and encouraging because you are gonna check some boxes. Like I'm sure at some point in the day, you're gonna grab an apple, like something is going to check one of these boxes. So 2 to 3 days, just get your baseline. Then as you go along, I want you to start choosing 1 or 2 of the things on the list that you think like, with a little bit of effort and a little bit of planning, like I could probably get those servings of greens, or I could probably get another serving of vegetables, or I could probably get another serving of legumes and beans in my diet. So just looking for that easy win of like, that really wouldn't take much to go there. So once you kind of do that, I want you to sit down, do a little bit of an exercise, and with this list, write down some ideas foods that you like, meals that you like, snacks, things that you could snack on that would check these boxes. And you could just go down the list. Like, can you think of all of the ways that you could have beans in a day? Think of all the ways that you could get berries in your day. And I would brainstorm this out. I would write it out because this list could be really powerful. This list is even something that you could post on your fridge and start creating a plan for yourself, okay? So you're gonna write down all of those ideas and just choose 1 or 2 easy things to start incorporating, okay? And I really suggest that you do that for at least a week, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, until it becomes a habit that, yeah, of course, I have a salad every day for lunch because I love checking this off my list. Okay, we're gonna get into that a little bit, why that's awesome. But do you see how we can really just use this as not an all or nothing thing? It's not a shaming, like, oh, I failed, I didn't check all the boxes. Like, that's not what this is about at all. It's a gauge. It's feedback, okay? That's all it is. So this could be really powerful. I know I am not perfect, you guys. I am not like 100% perfect. I do not check every single one of these boxes every single day. It takes a little effort for me. And I've been working at this for a few weeks now, and it's really helped. And I can already tell some differences in my energy level and my digestion, that things get better as I'm being more intentional about optimizing of what I'm actually eating, the things I'm adding, not just patting myself on the back at the end of the day because I didn't have that sugary treat, or I didn't have that oil, or I didn't eat the meat or the cheese, whatever. We gotta take a look at the things that we're incorporating, not just taking away. All right, let me see. Was there anything else I wanted? I think that was it. So those are my recommendations of using this tool, okay? Now, some mindset, some things to keep in mind. Things I want you to know. I want you to know that when I learned about behavior change in my 3 levels of coaching, training, and certifications and everything, the things that I studied again and again, we know that the more measurable we can get about a behavior change or habit change, the more likely you are to succeed, okay? That is just given fact. We know this in behavior change science. So this is a really awesome tool to give yourself something that is measurable, okay? So measurable is good. Another thought, this might look a little overwhelming to look at all of the servings and all these 12 things of just like, wow, that's a lot of food. That's just a lot of mass of food. And it really is. Like if you ever have a day where you check all these boxes, you were eating a lot throughout the day. Like, and in my work with Dr. Pam Popper, I studied her food over medicine course and her lifestyle coaching training, and she teaches that when we move to a more whole foods, plant-based way of eating, you may find that you'll be happier and more successful, more satisfied and full throughout the day if you shoot for not just 3 meals a day, but letting yourself kind of reframe that into more of a maybe 5 to 6 meals a day. Rather than thinking of these 3 big meals and maybe snacking in between, think of like, okay, I'm gonna have breakfast, I'm gonna have a late breakfast, think like a hobbit, right? Second breakfast, and then lunch, and then maybe another substantial kind of second lunch or early dinner, and then dinner. And when I think of it that way, it helps me almost like give myself permission to be like, oh yeah, I could like sit down and have a wrap with some hummus and some greens and some vegetables and like at 3:00 in the afternoon. That's okay. And honestly, I feel better and more satisfied when I do that. So I encourage you to maybe be open to that option of maybe playing around with 5 to 6 meals a day instead of just 3. Okay? So what else have I got? I know I'm probably over my 15 minutes here, but oh well. The other things that I wrote down for you guys, when you're thinking of trying to check off the boxes, thinking of those smaller meals or thinking of snacks is a really great way to go. And this is a great transition to make. Like if you still have a lot of processed, packaged, snacky food in your house and in your day-to-day nutrition, that's an awesome first step. Just saying, okay, I'm gonna try to snack on vegetables and hummus, whole fruits, a big smoothie. Make those your new snack habits instead of the packaged protein bar, granola bar, fruit snacks, even lots of dairy. I used to snack on yogurt. I used to snack on string cheese. But like bringing these things in to replace that, oh my goodness, can you imagine the difference that would make for your nutrition of just upgrading your snacks? And again, using this Daily Dozen as kind of a guide to do that. That would be a really great way to start. Okay, and lastly, another just behavior change piece, mindset to keep in mind, make it fun. Like, if you want to like have a little sticker chart for yourself, I'm not even kidding. Like if you create some fun around tracking this, it will create like this inherent reward mentally and emotionally that you want to keep doing it. And it takes kind of the shame and the failure mindset out of it, and it just like makes it fun of like, oh sweet, I got another point, make it a game, make it fun. Okay, so I want to just close with the two questions I want you to kind of play with. Again, I would love for you to spend some time with this. Sit down, brainstorm your ideas of how you could start incorporating more of these things. But here's 2 questions to ask yourself. Number one, what are the benefits that you have learned about these different types of foods? And again, spend some time in the app or check out this book. Start learning about these things. And I would love you to ask yourself, what excites you about these types of foods? What motivates you to choose these foods? I know for me, I have a husband that just got through a cancer fight a couple of years ago, and that was the fight of our lives. So as I read Dr. Greger's book, I was so encouraged that I was adding things into my diet that were strengthening not only my immune system against cancer, but my children's. That is so motivating and empowering for me. So I want you to find something like that. Find what is your thing that like keeps you going and gets you excited to make these choices for yourself and for your family. And then the second thing I want you to ask yourself, this is really powerful, of the follow through. And if we were in a coaching session, we would dig into this. What habits need to be in place in order to support being able to check more of these off your list to make that possible? Does that make sense? And specifically, I'm thinking shopping. Okay, I'm thinking of prepping. Okay, what needs to be on your grocery list? What meal plan are you creating? We had some awesome episodes of this show recently of meal planning. Go check those out if that's on your radar. What habits need to be happening to set you up for success? Okay, there was a time just recently that I was actively trying to check more of these boxes off, and I got to the end of my week and like I was cleaned out of fruit. And so I was really struggling to have a snack and to sit down for that and to be able to check some boxes. Like I was really like falling short on my fruit. So that got my attention. Oh, I need to really load up on the fruit at the beginning of the week, or I need to plan on going to the store again at midweek just to replenish our supply of apples. So I want you to get real and specific with yourself, with your situation. What do those patterns and habits need to look like? Your grocery shopping and your food prepping, like I can buy all this fruit and I can buy I bought a big thing of red grapes and green grapes this week. And they sat in my fridge and nobody ate them because I didn't wash them. It took me several days to get the time and the effort to get those washed and prepped so that now we can just grab them out of the fridge and it's available. So I want you to think through those really practical things that maybe need to start making it into the day-to-day or the week-by-week routine. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. I had a lot of fun doing this video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if this is helpful. Let me know what other questions or struggles you have, because I love framing these videos around the things that you want to learn more about. So be sure to comment below. You can send me an email. It's hello@danielldinkelman.com, or hop over to my website. You can send me a message from my contact page there. I would love to hear from you. So in the meantime, take care. Just enjoy taking care of yourselves, and have a happy holidays as we come into Thanksgiving, and just do you. I know it's tricky. I'm going to be doing a webinar coming up soon at the first week of December, so stay tuned for that. We're going to really dig into kind of some joyful, healthy holiday tips for you guys, so let me know if you'd like to learn more about that. But I will see you in the next video. Thanks for being with me today. Bye-bye.